Hi, everybody. My name's Alexis. I am a senior here at Boise State. I'm an intern at the WCA. So I'm just going to go live with you guys and just kind of talk about what I'm doing and why I chose the WCA. So talk about why I got this internship, why I got the role that I did, what I do there, and then my plans for next year, and then a little question answer if you guys want to. So first, my name is Alexis. Like I said, I got this internship from my friend Delaney, who was live on Monday, and she got it, and she was saying how awesome it's going to be and all this stuff. And I did an internship prior to this, and then I didn't think I was going to do another one. Excuse me. And then she said that it was so great. So then I applied, and then I got a interview, and I didn't know if I had time, if I could do it. But then once I got on it, I loved it. And then the interview was great, and I was so excited to start. So I can thank it all to Delaney for thinking that I would love it, which I do. So then during my interview, we talked about all the roles there are at the WCA and for the interns and stuff. So I'm a communication intern, and I am focusing on the prevention team. There are a lot of different sectors within the organization and all that. So I got the prevention team because the prevention team goes and pretty much outsources, and it's kind of like the outreach, but they go with, excuse me, they go to the school districts, and they talk about, like, pretty much preventing all of, like, sexual assault and domestic violence and all that. And I love working with kids. I've worked with kids on many other jobs that I have had in the past, so I thought that was a really great opportunity. So I said, yes, I want to do it, and that's what I chose to do, and I loved doing it. And sadly, it had to stop with all of the stuff that's going on right now, but I still love it, and I'm just doing it from home. So my plans for next year are kind of crazy right now. I am back in Washington right now because my family lives here. And once all this started happening and the classes got switched to just online, I thought it was a good idea just to come home and be with my family just in case anything happened. And I'm glad I did. And I'm still able to have meetings with Chris and everyone, and it's going really well. The communication's great within everyone at the organization. And so that's what I'm doing right now. My plans for next year is probably to be back in Washington and stay there. I'm not sure. This is my first time doing a nonprofit, and I love doing it, and I kind of like broadened my area of what I want to do. And so I'm so glad that I was able to have this internship and pretty much sorry, my voice is dry. Pretty much talk about why things matter. And I've always done like sales or something like that. And I think this is just like a whole new way of working. And I love doing the nonprofit sector. So here at Boise State, I'm getting my degree in media arts with an emphasis in public relations, and then with a certificate in applied leadership and human relations. I chose my major because I was first a business major, and I really liked it, but I kind of wanted something a little different, and I didn't even know what PR was at first. And then I took some classes, and I really liked public relations, so that's kind of what I'm doing, and it's kind of like advertising, but it's more of connecting the gaps between your business and the community and the public. And I just love that idea. And yeah, take these out. So when I decided to do PR, I was able to do an internship with different companies, and I just knew that this is like what I wanted to do. And I think it was just like the best option for me. So when I graduate in May, which is in very soon, I am applying to a bunch of places. I work at Boise Center, and I've worked there since my freshman year, and I've loved it so much, and I have been able to learn so much about pretty much any event planning, and a kind of just like outreach, which is kind of like what we do at the WCA. And I think that's kind of like helped me understand the side with like with the WCA of like kind of talking about like outreach and getting people to understand like why we're important. And so that's just like what I really like doing, and I think this internships has been really awesome for that. Other than that, if anyone has any questions, I would love to answer them. I can go into a little bit more detail about what I'm doing right now with the WCA. Right now we are introducing a new app for more people to reach out to us, and it's the Nextdoor app, and I've used it for just myself personally on the like on my own for my neighborhoods. And so now the WCA is using it, and we're getting that started. So I'm kind of working on the social media plan for that. I'm really excited to kind of start doing that and to focus more on kind of more reach to the community and like where we are, especially since we're right downtown. There's a lot of people that live there. There's a lot of businesses, and just to reach out. And then I also was working on the prevention team, like I said, and kind of with, so there's a program called the Youth Reps, and they are a group of high schoolers, and they have their own little club in their high school, and it's for the partnered with the WCA, and it's the Worth Project and all that stuff. So Rebecca asked, what's your favorite social media platform for prevention and outreach work? I think for prevention and outreach, I think Facebook is a really great tool for all that type of stuff, because you can reach so many people, and there's so many different settings you can do. You can create events, you can invite people, you can do these live things, which I didn't realize it was so awesome to use, but I really like it for like this type of stuff. I personally like use Instagram a lot, and I didn't use Facebook a lot, but like for like outreach work, Facebook is really good for that. And I'm definitely glad that I was able to learn different ways of using Facebook. So yeah, I was working on with the youth reps, and I think that's just awesome. Like, we are able to start from the beginning of when people start becoming adults and stuff, and kind of realizing how important it is to understand like signs and ways to kind of understand what sexual assault is, or domestic violence, or anything like that, because a lot of people don't understand, and they might just think it's just one thing, but there's so many different signs. And the fact that like we are teaching younger kids the signs and ways to prevent this, and like just even like within their friend group, is honestly like the best part about this internship, because it's able to start from like a small scale, and then hopefully later on have this end. So Tracy asked, what's your favorite way to de-stress during quarantine? Honestly, I just love binge watching shows. I watch so many shows all the time. But I actually just recently painted my room, and it's white now. But that was probably the best de-stress during this time because I got to start over. And I just painted it white, but it was so relaxing just to kind of take everything out of my room and then bring it back in and have it, I don't know, just any art project and stuff has been awesome. But sometimes I just love watching TV. My family actually is doing all the Marvel movies. So if you're with your family or something, it's a good way to de-stress. At the end of the day, we all sit down and watch a Marvel movie in order, and we are about 15 movies in, so that's how long I've been in isolation. But it's just a fun way to have the family together and kind of all look forward to something. But yeah, so speaking of quarantine and isolation, this has been pretty stressful. Just kind of moving back to Washington. I wasn't planning on moving back. I was just going for a week, and then now it's day 31 or something like that. So it's been kind of stressful not knowing what I'm doing, and our graduation being canceled, and not knowing the job market is, a lot of jobs are stopped hiring and all that. But I'm lucky that I'm with my family and we are all healthy, and everyone at the WCA has been really awesome. We've had, like I said, a lot of meetings and kind of one-on-ones as well, just kind of asking if everyone's okay, what they need, why we're still doing what we're doing, and how important it is, especially during this time as domestic violence cases and calls in and stuff have been rising because people have been at home. I think this is just as important, so I'm glad that I have this to still work on with being at home, and I still have all my classes. But it has been a stressful time, and it's something that everyone's going through, and as long as you have your core group and something you can work on, whether it's just doing an art project or having friends to check in on, it's been okay. Is there any other questions? What I do, why I decided to do what I'm doing. Like I said, I chose PR. It's different than marketing just because I like the communication side of it. I like the relationships I get to build with people throughout the community. I am able to decide what I want to do, and I think it's just a bigger sector, and I just love being in PR. I just think it's something I never knew what it was before. I thought it was just being a publicist or something for celebrities or whatever, but it is so much more than that, and I love it so much. So Delaney asked, what drew you to the WCA? So previously when I first started, I don't know if Delaney was on, but I was saying how I got a text from Delaney that asked if I knew what the WCA was and what I'm interested in, and I did know what it was, but I didn't know what exactly they did. So Delaney was saying how awesome it was, and then I had an interview, and I just loved the atmosphere it had. I loved the interview. I loved the passion that came into it. Just from the hour interview I had, I was able to know what this company does, why they do it, and how important they believe in this is. And I just kind of fell in love. And so yeah, that is kind of what made me decide to do it. I was stressed at first because I had a job that I loved going to every day, the Boise Center, and I loved working for them, and I worked there quite a bit, and then I still had 18 credits or something that I was doing, and I was nervous of doing an internship again. But honestly, this place, going in office every Monday, Tuesday from my busy schedule, it was just so nice to just go there and work on something that I really liked and enjoyed, and kind of seeing the changes that we were able to do kind of made me decide. It was just such a good place to be, and everyone working there was awesome, and I am so glad I had this opportunity to do it. If there's any other questions, I'd love to answer. Like I said, my plans for next year are kind of all up in the air. I have been applying to places in Washington. I've been applying to places in Boise. I kind of don't know where I'm going to be, but I love Boise so much. But I also love being in Washington. I have been doing a lot of places in, for businesses as like planning, event planning, and kind of like an outreach, coordinator for businesses, nonprofits as well, and kind of just focusing on the relationships. And that's what I kind of talked about a lot. Just being able to have those relationships with businesses, and it's not just so business focused, but it's really about the people, and how your company, your business can like create a better place for the community, for a single business like an event center or anything like that. So that's kind of what I decided that I'm kind of focusing on. And I think having this internship really helped a lot, decide what I want to do, because I was in like the kind of the private sector, with my other internships, and now being a nonprofit, like I said, this is my first time being a nonprofit. I think like this is probably one of the best, and a lot of people should at least experience the world of nonprofits and work with them, or just get to know like what they do and how they do it throughout your community. And I think that's like a great way to kind of realize how great your community is, just seeing all the different nonprofits there are, what they do for the community, and like it's just awesome. So if there are no more questions, I am going to sign off, but I'm really glad I was able to do this. Like I said, I love interning for the WCA. I wish it was longer. I, of course, wish that this pandemic wasn't happening so I could be with the people every week, but you kind of just have to work with what you have. And I will definitely come in and say hello more next year and all that. And if anyone out there is a student or knows a student that's kind of deciding if they want to do internships through their school, if they don't have enough time, I highly suggest it. No matter what you do, it's just great experience. It's connects you with so many people, and overall it's just a good idea to do. When in doubt, do it, and hopefully you'll love it. So thank you. I am gonna go do some more homework, do some stuff for WCA, and I hope you guys have an awesome Wednesday. Bye.